Welcome to Tuesday at 7. Thank you guys for joining us today. We have a few folks here. We have Melody, we have Jordan, and we have Sean. And then, of course, my wife is behind the camera, Beth. And we're here to talk about a show that's coming up this Saturday. And we're also going to talk about the benefits, CLE Connect. But what we want to do is encourage you guys to join us. Thank you for joining us live. If you're watching the recorded session, you can interact with this just like you're watching it live. And what we want to do is right out of the gate, we want to encourage you to share this video. Why? Because when you share the video, it gets out to a larger audience. What we found is every share results in about an additional 100 views. So just do the math, right? I mean, you get 50 shares, it goes out to a lot of people, right? 100 shares, it goes out to 10,000 people, etc. So we appreciate that you guys joining us. But a lot of folks are like, shoe show, like, what is that all about? And the whole idea, actually the backstory, I'll give a backstory of 20 seconds. We had, for those of you who are part of the art exchange, we had an art exchange gathering years ago. And I came across a bag of shoes in my mom's basement. My mom keeps everything. And these shoes were 20, 25 years old. And what ended up happening was I grabbed those shoes, was going to actually just throw them away, and I found out that they were my cousin's shoes. And my cousin, back at the time, was dealing with stage 4 colon cancer, and her son, my cousin, had died in an auto accident, and she was dealing with all kinds of stress. But what I noticed in her shoes was they were wearing from the inside out. And so I created that first piece. And then after a number of years, I had a bunch of friends say, never create just one, always create a series. And so that was the birth of the shoe series and the show on Saturday. But the reason why we're gathering together is there's a whole bunch of artists, whether they're donating shoes or collaborating on work. Got like 15 artists involved. But the idea was to recognize CLE Connect, which is I've always said it's kind of a team, for people who are unhoused and in crisis. Yeah, give us a quick highlight.
Yeah, so we work with homeless and unhoused, low income throughout Northeast Ohio. We provide a lot of that first responder services. So we're not providing housing, but we are linking people to the stuff they need. I always say to make it through the night. So whether that's blankets, whether that's sleeping bags, clothes, food, hygiene supplies, first aid supplies, but then we're also going to work towards linking those people to the services so that hopefully they can get into that more stable housing, that more permanent housing, and find those resources to help them stay in such housing.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's crisis. Mm-hmm. That is certainly a crisis team. So if you're date stamping this is January 2025, and if you had a temperature gauge, you would know outside it is like 0 or -1. And here in January, here certainly in Ohio, but elsewhere, it is exceptionally brutal for those who are unhoused.
We're actually going out with some other local people tonight after this just to do some safety checks. We're going to some of the low income communities to people to make sure, hey, is your gas shut off? Is your electric shut off? Do you have what you need to stay warm through the night tonight? Because we don't want to come around tomorrow and find people that unfortunately didn't make it through the night.
Yeah. So when you come to the shoe show, or even if you don't come to the shoe show and you have the opportunity to watch a little bit of it live on Saturday, and also the opportunity to perhaps win a piece through the auction, when you win a piece, or if let's say you were to put down, a couple $100 on a bid and you win that bid, that money is going to CLE Connect. It's not going to the artist, it's going to the cause. And that was important for everybody involved, is that, all come together, create together, collaborate together, shine some light on a good cause, and then socialize, collaborate. I mean, when I've got a chance to meet Jordan, and we did some work. Jordan's done a piece which we'll walk by. We don't want to give too much away. We'll walk by it. Jordan is he's an artist, prop maker. He makes one of a kind props, and you had a lot of success, Jordan, right, selling for like the oddities, and you do some of the props for Slaughterhouse and some others, and so we're excited to see your work. And then we had a chance to meet Melody, and Melody also is a partner with CLE Connect and she has, what was cool is that We have shoes by Bob Peck in there. Bob Peck hasn't seen them. We just grabbed his shoes, I don't know, like last spring or something, took them away in a bag, and he'll see them for the first time on Saturday, as well as the other artists and the other folks that have donated shoes as well.
That's exciting.
They'll see their shoes in artwork for the very first time.
That's really exciting to think of just their initial reaction to this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the incentive for sharing. If you share this video, we know it. In the very bottom left-hand side of your screen, there's an arrow or a share button. When you share that, you can share it to your friends list. You could share it to a group that you belong to. Share it to the artists groups, certainly. When you share, we know it, and we're going to put your name in the drawing, and it'll probably be about 2 weeks. But if your name is drawn, the hope is to get a pair of your shoes and to use your shoes as a piece for the next time we do a shoe show. And so some of the pieces might have a single shoe, and if that's a single shoe, we'll make two. We'll give one to you and one for the next show. But whatever, you can be immortalized. Your shoes and your story can be immortalized if your name is drawn. So we appreciate that, and we encourage you guys to share. We're going to get a peek. And what we want to say is thank you to Negative Space. Thank you, Gotti Zamir. We interviewed Gotti sometime, and I'm in love with his work. He is a for-cause type person. So when it came time to gather together for the show, I was like, I'm going to check with Gotti first. And Gotti's like, yeah, let's do it. And so thank you, Gotti. Gotti isn't here, but he's opened up the gallery for us to kind of walk in and kind of peek. We're not going to give away too much of the shoe pieces. Part of them are up, but the rest of the show will be hung in the next 2 or 3 days. So join us this coming week, and we'll have an opportunity to socialize and such. But while we're walking, give us we'll walk in, and we'll let Beth kind of catch Negative Space behind us. The cause. Why are you involved with CLE Connect, Sean?
So I've been involved with CLE Connect for about 3 years now. The cause is just that we all have people in our lives that homelessness affects. And there's so many ways that people can end up in that situation. We always think of we all have this stereotypical homeless person in our thought, in our mind, and you never know that it's we're all one paycheck away from being there. Yeah. One bad decision away from being there. And it's like, my thought is that if I can be there to help somebody who's in that situation, I've had people in my life that have been there that when I was down on the ground, they had their hand out to me. If I can be that person to put my hand out to one person, then effectively I'm paying back what was so freely given to me. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm really excited to see, because I haven't seen it in person, is a piece by one of the artists. You'll get to see it on Saturday. You'll get to look at the auction website, certainly. But one of our artists, contributing artists, was homeless himself. And and one of the things that I often hear is you're one page away from homelessness or being unhoused. But there's also, the crisis, the addiction, right? Those things, mental health, which it's all interwoven, right?
Yeah. It's such a thing. It's not, it's not just, hey, let's get some people some houses. There's like you said, there's mental health issues. There's addiction issues. There's so many issues that run together that make this crisis such a big deal, where it's not something where, hey, CLE Connect is going to come in and give everybody houses. It's the epitome of it takes a village. Yeah. It takes us with all sorts of other local organizations working together to I'm not even going to say solve this crisis, but just to even kind of help it out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know the artists, certainly here in Northeast Ohio and in Ohio and beyond, they're pretty empathetic, sympathetic sometimes, right? Because some of them are like, yep, I've dealt with addiction and I've dealt with mental illness and depression and anxiety. And I found myself, at the lowest low, at times. And so what we want to do, like you, and as a community, lift our hands, put our hands down and help lift somebody up who's in that an opportunity. And we appreciate, coming together for this cause. So we're just stepped through the front doors of Negative Space. If you come on Saturday live, you'll be walking right through here. If you're trying to find out the details, grab and I linked it right here to the interview. Grab the event link. The reason being is, I think if you look up Negative Space, it'll take you to a wrong address. It takes you to an address like right on Superior or something, as opposed to here on 38th. So check the address there on the link. and join us on Saturday. But when you arrive, there's free parking, right? It's safe. You might even grab some Korean dinner if you come here early. Really great food. There's here in this building. There's dance studios. There's an Asian market downstairs, and then you come up and you kind of step into negative space. And this is most of, I think, of what you see here is Gadi's work, Gadi Zamir's work, and I absolutely love his style. But as we kind of come in, you guys will have an opportunity to you know what? Actually, well, before we step any further, I'm going to take a quick detour. Those of you who were with us last week, we were for another cause, and it was the Western Reserve Instrument Rescue and Adoption with Doc Loomis. Essentially what they do is they grab instruments that have been kind of abandoned in attics, you know, the flutes or the high school instruments.
Less loved.
Yeah, less loved. And they're just like, they've been sitting up there. And what they do, what Doc Loomis and that his organization does, is they get those instruments and make the minor repairs, they clean them up, and they rehome them to folks that don't have, you know, the ability to buy musical instruments themselves. And so there was thousands of people who watched last week. And Doc, if you shared that video last week, your name is in this hat. And go ahead and if you would just grab one of these. And before you open it, if your name is chosen, you get a chance of a high-end ukulele or a barone drum. So you get to choose which of those instruments you like. But who's the winner?
I make a good ukulele.
Yeah.
Kelly Milleron.
Kelly. Yeah, Milleron. Kelly, thank you so much. I mean, she shares all the time.
Awesome.
I'm going to put this in my pocket so I don't forget
Yes.
that Kelly's the winner. Kelly, thank you for sharing. And we'll make sure that we get that your choice. You just let us know. Do you want a ukulele or a barone? I mean, it's that big drum, you know, with that kind of two-sided drumstick. It was kind of cool. So thank you, Doc. Thank you all for that. But this week we're on to CLE Connect. So follow us in here a little bit. So if you join us on Saturday, we're going to be filled with artists. You'll get a chance to meet Gadi, to see some of his work. You'll have the opportunity to, I don't know, be inspired. Be inspired. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to collaborate with artists. The artists that have donated their shoes, they're going to be seeing their piece for the first time. And we don't want to give away too much, but there is even a piece here that feels kind of bioethic, you know, and it's Jordan's piece, and we can't wait for Jordan and some of our friends who would like the gory side of things, you know, to explore a shoe from that point of view. But what we're going to do is we're just going to step in here a little bit to show you guys where the main space is going to be. This place is so cool, isn't it?
It is. It is. The artwork that's here is it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So if you come on in on Saturday and you join us, it's going to be packed. We're going to have 15 shoe pieces that'll be part of the show. A few of them are up now. And there's going to be a number of pieces that are collaborative pieces. The artists are going to come in. They're going to see their shoes being placed in artwork. Bob Peck, you know, as I mentioned, Melly, you said you knew Bob, right?
Yeah. I follow him.
You follow him on Facebook. Bob Peck, who was a street artist, who is a muralist, you know, and an artist as his profession. His shoes are immortalized. Yeah, and he'll see that work. Then we'll have the artists that join me in that collaboration. So there'll be three of us, you know, surrounding that piece. There's also a piece of pair of Neil Zaza's shoes. He's, you know, it's lucky to have, you know, cool friends that do cool things. But Neil, I was like, Neil, I need a pair of worn out shoes. And he brought a pair that he wore out on his European tour. And it's kind of funny, you know, he has a lot of videos during that European tour, live in Denmark, where he's wearing those things out up on stage. So that's going to be there as well. There's a piece there's shoes that are from my wife that have been immortalized as well. We have a couple other family members. We have Lily Sargent, who is a professional ballerina. Is that the correct word? I mean, is that right, ballerina?
Yeah.
So Lily Sargent is a ballerina. You know, she dances. She danced full time for the Cleveland Ballet. She's now dancing part time for the ballet and full time with the Cleveland Ballet Academy. She doesn't know how her shoes are going to be used, but the point shoes and Chris Grimaldi and the Glass Asylum are working on that piece. And so it'll be really exciting to see the artists come together. And for those who are interested in connecting with other artists to hang out for a good cause, listen, just come in and hang out. If you've got the opportunity, to share, one of these pieces may choose you, and you may be wanting to take one of them home. But what'll happen is, for those folks that join us on Saturday, they'll come in, there'll be a QR code. That QR code will take them to a site, and you have a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. Couple of weeks to make a bid, and after those weeks, we'll shut it down. We'll get you the artwork, and if you win that auction, you'll be making a donation to CLE Connect, correct. And you'll even get a tax, right?
Yeah,
a tax document, so you can use that as well. So if you're a collector, maybe somebody who's starting to collect artwork, maybe you have a blank spot on your wall. Maybe you're also a corporation where you're like, man, I can make a donation. Yeah. And put a piece of artwork that would be of interest in our entryway or whatever. But we appreciate you guys sharing. We appreciate you joining us. Even if you're not able to join us here live, we're gonna go ahead and show some of the behind the scenes. We'll go live so you can see it digitally as well, and then we'll make sure that the website is up. But tell us a little bit more about CLE Connect. So, like, how long has that organization? Yeah.
So we've been around for about 12 years now. We were a very grassroots organization for quite a while. And then we kind of realized that for us to sustain what we were doing, us to keep what we were doing, we kind of had to make some moves and start to grow. So we underwent some strategic planning a couple years ago, made some big changes, and in that we have done nothing but grow. We kind of did a rebranding where our focus anymore is on connection. Before it was a lot of us getting out in there and getting the stuff in there, but now what we're really focusing on is connecting. We're not only connecting with our clients, but we're also connecting with our supporters in the community, and we're also doing a lot of connection with local organizations. So a lot of what we're trying to do lately is almost doing stuff more scheduled rather than just kind of, hey, let's go out and let's do some outreach on Tuesday. We're trying to create something where maybe we'll be at Westside Catholic on Thursday. So let's start being at Westside Catholic every month on this day at this time, so that rather than being reactive to situations, we're going to start getting a lot more proactive. Yeah. People will know where and when to find us, and they will know that, hey, I need a sleeping bag. I know that CLE Connect is going to be at such and such a place on this date and this time. So it's like I said, it's a lot of growth. It's a lot of working with a lot of different local organizations, working towards some larger corporate sponsorships to really grow what we're doing and really kind of, like I said, connect with our community, empower the people that we're serving to get out there and take that next step to get into that more secure housing, get into that more secure life, to be able to enjoy a lot of this stuff. I'm big on gratitude, to sit back and be grateful for the things that we don't think about. I was talking about that the other day. God, I'm grateful for heat in my house today. How many people, don't have that right now? Yeah. How many people are out there struggling right now? Let's do what we can to let a lot of people enjoy these creature comforts that we all just kind of take for granted.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that I learned through this process is sometimes it's not just being homeless or unhoused. Sometimes your heat's cut off. Yeah. You have no warmth in your house, and you're in crisis even in that situation, right? Yeah. What are some of the share with us a story or so, right? Because you see some folks, right, that are at the lowest points of their life in crisis, mm-hmm. and there's a tunnel, right, that some people have to pass through and get out the other side, right, and then move on, to brighter days. Did you have some?
Oh gosh, it's you want me to pick out an individual story, and I can't.
You can't because there's so many.
Because there's so many, and it's so many people that that you meet them, and like you said, they're at their lowest low.
Yeah.
You know, whether I know there's a situation last year. We used to do a big event down in Public Square, and we ran into a gentleman in a bus stop. Literally sleep. I mean, your stereotypical sleeping in the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
Hooked him up with some clothes, hooked him up with some resources, some food, and all this stuff. And I run into the guy an hour later. I didn't recognize him. Roger, I didn't recognize the guy that I had just interacted with an hour ago. Not because he had on new clothes, not because he had washed up, not because he had gotten a haircut, but because he was glowing. You know, he was glowing, and it wasn't because of all this stuff, but it was because somebody cared about him.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the 500 people walking past him as they usually do. It was the people that stopped and helped him. And it wasn't just like, here, take this and move on. It was like, all right, what do you need? Do you just want to talk for a little bit? You know, what do you have going on? How can we connect you to some resources so that you're not back in this situation next week? You know, and that's the change we do is it's more than just like, here, take this and we're going to move on. It's here, take this and what else? Yeah. What else can we do for you?
Yeah, yeah. You appreciate, you know, learning. The CLE Connect, you said was rebranded, right? Mm-hmm. Because some time ago I was talking and mm-hmm. so that the name before, right, was that Homeless Hookup.
Homeless Hookup. Homeless Hookup. The 10-year joke of a homeless dating organization. You know, and we laugh, but it's like every time you make a call, they go, what do you guys do? No, we're not a dating service. You know, but it was all right. This is our time. Let's rebrand and let's really grab onto what we're doing and grab both horns and run with it.
Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing, and actually the way that I learned about the organizations is I was seeing, you know, some articles and some stories and some success and some opportunities, you know, to serve on the community. But there was it's our local newspaper. There was a high school student who was doing some fundraising for, you know, Homeless Hookup. And as we've been talking, right, the rebrand to CLE Connect, and I'm seeing that out and about. Tell us a little bit about your leadership, because it's not just one person going, hey, can you give me some money? No. I'm going to go out and I'm going to go out and share it out, because this is a nonprofit, right? You've got a board. It is organized.
No, it's far from just me. It's myself. Got an awesome board of directors that everybody is super, super active. You know, we always warn everybody before they come on. We say, listen, we're not a board that shows up every 6 months and votes on a couple things. We're an active board. You know, all these people that are constantly coming out in the community with me, they're out there spreading the message. They're doing this stuff. And then above and beyond that, you know, we have an awesome, awesome team of volunteers. Last year, I want to say, and don't quote me, but I want to say it was 112 different volunteers last year who came out with us. And whether it was putting together hygiene kits, whether it was doing street outreach, whether it was working an event with us, you know, people that are in there in the grasp of things doing stuff with us. You know, you mentioned the high school kids. We work with a lot of high schools, whether it's US, Gilmore, St. Joan of Arc, Chagrin Falls. We work with all these high schools and take these kids into the community and let them be a part of this. You know, we love these schools connecting with us, because I'll tell you what, these kids get out there and they get exposed to the situation. They are so engaging. You know, some of our most fun volunteers are those high school kids who just get out there, and man, all of a sudden they feel that good feeling of giving back, and they want more.
Yeah.
You know, we have a couple kids that it's like, okay, calm down. You gotta leave a little bit for everybody else, because they love that good feeling of getting out there and just helping people and showing them that, you know, this is how you can be a part of your community.
Yeah, yeah. I think that there's that service. You know, once you really get together with servant hearts, that's a community that you thrive together. I mean, those are folks who go, they're friends. I can turn to this person because they're servant oriented, and I certainly get that feel as I get to meet your team and get to know your team here as well. I'm going to actually come here, Melody, because you're part of CLE Connect, volunteer, but also kind of particularly interested in this kind of this art event as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think everything so far that I've seen is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm just going to put the mic just in between us. It was funny because as we were kind of connecting some dots and talking about the artists that'll be here, the collaborations, the shoes that we've got. I'm like, I've got a pair of shoes coming in from Glasses Sun. I'm like, oh yeah, I know Chris. And I follow Bob and, and some of the others. And so I think what folks will find if you're able to join us here in person is that you'll know other people. And if you don't, you'll walk away, part of a community as well. If somebody wants to get involved, right? And so we're encouraging you guys to come out and join us on Saturday, right? Maybe a piece will choose you. Maybe you'll put a bid on a piece. Maybe you'll just come out here to learn more about the organization. Maybe you're just like, I just need my creative fill and I want to hang out with some artists. And we encourage all of that, including open mic, which will happen at 7 o'clock. So we're going to have a couple hours of time to catch up and talk. And then music is going to go up at 7 o'clock as well. So I know those performance artists are going to be like, I'm going to bring my spoken word. I'm going to bring my acoustic. I don't know what we're going to find, but it's going to be interesting here as well. I think that officially they're going to probably kind of wind things down 9:30. They'll probably kick everybody out at 10. So it's not going to be like a late night, but it's going to be a fun night for sure. For those folks that want to get involved, they're like, you know what? I think I want to volunteer, be part of the organization as well. What is the best way? If they don't come on Saturday, because Saturday they'll learn about that as well. But if they don't come here on Saturday, what's the best way to connect and learn about opportunities to serve?
So the easiest way is either go to our website, which is cleconnect.org, or you can just look us up on Facebook, CLE Connect. You'll see there's links in there that you can sign up for a volunteer mailing list. You can get on our just general mailing list. You can even reach out to us and just say, hey, this is what I'm available. What can I do with you guys? We have so many different ways to help. People always think, with the nonprofit, the way I'm going to help is donate. There's so much more that you can do. Like I said, you can volunteer. You can go at your work and make up some hygiene bags to donate. Just spreading the word, awareness of the organization. We were talking about this before we started. When you share awareness, now all of a sudden those people are you're part of that donation. There's, like I said, there's so much more that you can do. So again, the website is cleconnect.org, or just look us up on Facebook as CLE Connect.
Yeah, I know that there's questions for people who have joined us partway through the interview, and that is shoe show. Like, what the heck is a shoe show, right? And I think at the very basis is kind of like, you don't get to know a person until you walk a mile in their shoes.
Yeah.
That old adage. I've learned, and Jordan's learned, and the artists that have been here, like, you learn something about sitting with a pair of their shoes. I mean, you learn a lot about somebody by the wear and tear of their shoes, and you'll see that immortalized in this artwork as well. You know what's cool is we're gonna have some folks from Medina County that are joining us, but we had a gift, a concealed shoe. Like, I didn't even know concealed shoes even existed. We have a friend who donated a concealed shoe. They were renovating their house, and I think the house was built in mid-1800s, 1850s, something like that. And they uncovered a concealed shoe. It was a worn shoe that was sealed up. I think it was either in their chimney or their attic. And it just found its way to us in this shoe show. But concealed shoes have been in place for centuries. The oldest concealed shoe was from 1308, and it was around for 400 or 500 years. And people would conceal shoes. I mean, there's some talk where they're like, we think it was just good tidings. Some people said they believe that the concealed shoe was for superstitious reasons, keep away evil spirits. There are some that, how they, back when I was growing up, sometimes you would put cans or shoes and you drag them behind a Just Married sign, in a car. And that's fertility. And so some people say, concealed shoes, they were put together by an ancestor, usually a woman leather shoe, put it in the house for good wishes for large families. And so concealed shoes are rare, but they've been around. But there's a concealed shoe index. And the keeper of that index is a museum, I think it's in Europe. Mm-hmm. There are 2,000 locations at which concealed shoes have been reported over the past 70 or 75 years. So not that many, but you have an opportunity to bid on a concealed shoe. And maybe what we could do is go ahead and attach that to the concealed shoe registry as well. So there's going to be a concealed shoe here as well. We haven't really done much with that. We wanted to kind of preserve it so people could see it in its worn state. It's been sealed in an attic for 150 years, so it's been revealed. A concealed shoe will be revealed on Saturday, so that'll be a fun one to talk about as well. And but Bethy, why don't you just do a quick pan with? I mean, you can even do a quick one there, just slow flip, and then kind of show the stage. So if you're going to be bringing your voice or your words or your instrument or your ukulele, yeah, Kelly Miller, and I hopefully you'll bring. Maybe she'll come in and play the Barone drum. I don't know what she's going to choose. Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool, but you'll have the opportunity to kind of see the space where we'll be. It's we've got 2 rooms. You saw that space on the outside. There's a bunch of other artists that are here as well. And so when you're here, you'll see Gotti's work. You'll see the work of the 15 artists that have come together and collaborated for this event. You get the opportunity to hang out with Jordan and me and Melody and Sean from CLE Connect. And then Beth will be there as well. There'll be some beverages. There'll be some refreshments. There's going to be some great socializing. And so we encourage you to join us. Again, the biggest thing that you can do for us at this point is just hit that share button, share to your friends list, share to a group. If you share, we'll know it. We'll draw a name in a few weeks. And if your name is drawn, we're going to come and we're going to collect a pair of shoes from you. We're going to get a story about your life. And we're going to go ahead and immortalize those shoes at our next show, which might be less than a year from now. But we'll kind of connect. But that's going to be it's kind of a unique gift. But that's what we're going to do for our giveaway. And Sean, what have we missed? What have we missed?
Listen, I just want to say that first of all, I'm super grateful to you. I'm grateful to Gotti, Negative Space, everybody that's involved in this. Come down this weekend. You know, when Roger hit me up 9 months ago and said, listen, I got shoes and I'm doing art, I walked away from that conversation. Like I went back and shared with the board. I said, I think like he's like nailing shoes to plywood and painting around them or something. Yeah. When I got to, he's made me wait 9 months to see the first one. And when I saw it, my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, that's cool. So I'm super excited for this event. Hopefully a lot of you get down here this weekend and check it out.
Yeah. We're just hoping you guys can free up. I don't think the weather's supposed to be too bad. No. I mean, it might be cold, but I think we're going to be in good shape for
like
Friday.
Warm for Cleveland.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that and if nothing else, right? I mean, I think in the spirit, right, we can appreciate the blessings that we do have and the roofs over our families and our loved ones and the heat. And then, remember those folks who don't have that as well. Yeah. So we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Share away, and we'll see you on Saturday.